wanted to make this video a couple months ago, back when like a bunch of YouTubers were getting accused of being abusive, but I somehow never got around to doing it. However, when the story of Elliot Rodger became big news, I decided it was time I made this video. I, being a female, have experienced sexual harassment. No person should ever have to feel afraid of being alone in public. I shouldn't have to see a male approaching me or heading in my direction where I am and feel nervous or scared. Everyone should be able to wait somewhere and have someone pass them without any exchange. When being asked out by people, we shouldn't have to come up with excuses for saying no. I personally have used the lesbian excuse and the taken excuse, and neither should be used when rejecting someone. I know I have been rejected before, and I know it's not nice and it's a terrible feeling, but I've never, ever thought, hey, maybe I should kill that person for saying no. Violence should never be the answer to rejection. Should never be the answer to anything, really. My life should not be at stake for saying no to someone. Other people's lives should not be at stake because I said no to someone. No one's life should ever be at stake for saying no. We should all be able to say no to something and everything's okay. I understand that there are men out there who are capable of taking rejection and not becoming a murderer from it. But the number of people sympathizing with Elliot Rodger is insane. No one owes anyone anything. Ever. If you choose to buy me dinner, I don't owe you my vagina. If you choose to hold the door open for me, I don't owe you my body or any sexual favors. If you choose to do something kind and polite for anybody, that person's thanks and gratitude should be enough of a return of thanks. No one should have to give you something sexual just because you decided to be polite. To many men out there, I'm just a walking sex robot, along with every other woman. However, I actually have a personality, and there is so much more to me than my vagina. If women treated men the way they treat us, I'm sure they'd be telling us they're more than just a penis. So why on earth can they not see that that's how they treat us? We shouldn't have to tell men. What if it was your daughter, your sister, your mother, or some close female for them to take a stand against something? They should be seeing situations where women are being killed or put at risk due to a man acting out of order, and taking a stand without thinking they need some connection to the victim. Or victims. We shouldn't tell girls boys will be boys, to dismiss their behavior. Women have always been held accountable for their actions, so why should men get a free pass when they act out? Boys wouldn't have to be boys if they were raised respectfully and treated everyone with respect and took responsibility for their actions. In terms of rape, only yes means yes. And that yes can be taken back at any time and should not be dismissed just because they've already said yes. If they suddenly feel like they don't want to give their consent anymore, that should be okay and taken respectfully and move on. Women shouldn't be told to cover up, to not have rape happen. Men should be told not to rape. They should be taught that they need to respect a woman's body and that they are a person. When I see an attractive person, I don't have an uncontrollable urge to have sex with them right then and there, whether they want it or not. Men continuously tell women that they're too hormonal on their periods to be able to make good decisions. However, they'll let rape slide by blaming how the women dressed, which is essentially telling us that if we dress provocatively enough, men can't control themselves enough to make a good decision. That's a bit hypocritical, don't you think? It's crazy to think that women have fought so hard for equal rights, and we've slipped into a backward slump where white men are still on top acting like douchebags and trying to shape the world to such backwards views that I'm sure many of our ancestors from centuries ago are rolling in their graves at our society. It's time we change society for the better. There are no buts, nots, and ifs. No more excuses. It's time for men to start taking more responsibility for their actions, and for women to have more freedom so they're not afraid to be alone in public. I shouldn't have to belong to a man for another man to leave me be. I am not an object for men to stare at. I am a human being, just like every white man who feels entitled to stare at me. Just remember, girls will be girls, and we fight for our right to be treated as humans. This isn't the end of our fight. you haven't seen The Last of Us yet. So until next time.